Halloween from 2007, which is the Rob Zombie remake, is a great example of horror movie remakes that ultimately ruin the original, and also a great example of an abundance of kills and abundance of blood, not not making things better, not making things more scary. It's a Rob Zombie movie, after all. Now, I haven't seen every Rob Zombie movie, but I did enjoy his first two, which were House of Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. Those were original works, and although House of Thousand Corpses was mostly a freak show that only metalheads would love, it was still fun. It was still a good little freak show. But this one right here, yeah, he just takes one thing after another and just ruins it, like, so bad. In fact, I even made a list. Maybe someday I'll post it. 101 reasons why 1978's Halloween is better than Rob Zombie's 2007 remake. I'm not going to go through all of them because listing 101 reasons it's going to take a long time for me to do. But I just wanted to review this movie right now as is. So Rob Zombie decides to give Michael a bit of a backstory, which is okay. It's admirable. But but okay. Here's two problems with this. Okay, for one thing, the movie's 2 hours, which really isn't a big deal. But about an hour of this film is just Michael's It's just Michael's backstory. That's too long right from the get go, and that leaves only 1 hour for the remake portion, which is too short. If you think that that's not such a big deal, okay, fine, whatever. But what really gets to me with Michael's backstory is how much he just totally takes away what Michael actually is. Michael is a force of evil. Okay, in 1978, he killed his sister just out of the blue randomly. He lives in a normal house with normal parents, but in this one, he grows up in a major trailer trash hillbilly family with very obnoxious people as his family members. William Forsythe plays, I don't know if it's his stepdad or whatever, but he is so annoying, so obnoxious. Like when we see the whole family just swearing and just being totally repugnant, like, of course Michael's going to grow up and be a sadistic killer if he's raised in that environment. It would be so much more scary if they just kept the original story and have Michael just kill randomly out of the blue. And plus, Michael in this original, and not in the original, but in the backstory portion, well, he looks really silly. He looks like an out of shape, ugly girl. I hate to say it, but if they would have done something different, if it would have made Michael look more normal, then cast the same boy, but just make him look normal instead of just wearing these dumb masks all the time. And yeah, he gets picked on all the time at school, and that's also a major flaw. Like the bullies in this are really repugnant, and that's another big flaw on this behalf. Everyone in the film is so trashy, so tasteless. Okay, there's almost an art to making people non-likable, but you can still feel for them. You don't want to just say, "Come on, move on," or just like you really want to turn the thing off because there's so much trash in this. And okay, Rob Zombie's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, plays Michael's mother, and she's really the only likable person in this, and well, kind of likable. She's not that good of an actress, except for in House of Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. But yeah, she wasn't good either. So yeah, there's a ton of swearing, ton of obnoxious people. Yeah, you could be saying that's the point. Having obnoxious people. Okay, obnoxious isn't always a good. Obnoxious is never a good thing. Obnoxious means that you just want that is really tasteless, and you want to just get out of there as soon as possible. It's not like watching Raging Bull, where Jake LaMotta is not a nice guy, but you still want to see more of what happens to him. In this, you don't want to see anything more that happens to Michael. And yeah, when Michael ends up killing his family in this, yeah, it's kind of it. I mean, it's not too bad the kills that happen in this. There's really only two good kills, right? The one is Michael's very first kill, where he kills one of the bullies. I thought that was pretty well set up, and the kills where he ends up killing his family, those were okay. I didn't think those were great, but whatever. But yeah, it just totally takes away from Michael's whole aura um, of him being an actual unstoppable force of evil, because he isn't. If you grow up in a household like that, you're not really a big force of evil. He's a lot scarier if he didn't have, if he just snapped randomly. So, yeah, bunch of years later, Michael, he's in an institution, and Malcolm McDowell plays Dr. Loomis in this. And I want to get into Malcolm McDowell playing Dr. Loomis. Okay, Dr. Loomis is when Donald Pleasence played him in the movies, in the original ones, especially in 4 and 5. Really, 4 and 5, he was the driving force to make those movies good. He was Oscar worthy in those. Like even numbers 1, 2, he was Oscar worthy. Donald Pleasence. I love Malcolm McDowell. Him in A Clockwork Orange, one of the 10 best performances of the 70s, easily. He does not play a good Dr. Loomis. I'm sorry, but he just doesn't. But yeah, when the movie gets into the remake portion of it, I don't remember if it's part of the unrated cut or if it's part of their normal cut, but yeah, Michael, who's now played by Tyler Mane, and he's a badass when Michael is a grown up in this. Yeah, there's when he there's these two janitors at the mental hospital, and they take a patient and they place her into Michael's room, and they rape the hell out of her for like 5 minutes. Okay, and that's just why have a random rape scene like that? That's just another reason why this movie is so ridiculous. But Michael killing them, it didn't really redeem everything, but it kind of made everything seem kind of okay. But having Tyler Mane play Michael, Tyler Mane's he's a huge guy. He used to be a wrestler way back when. Yeah, I thought that him playing Michael was a good move on Rob Zombie's behalf. And when Michael actually escapes from the mental hospital, that's probably the best kill scene in the movie. That, and when Michael kills the bully. So yeah, those two good kill scenes. They were good. But when Michael gets out of prison, when Michael escapes from the mental institution, and he goes back to Haddonfield, of course he goes after his sister, who's Laurie Strode. And this one, she's played by Scout Taylor Compton. She sucks. I hate to say it, but Scout Taylor Compton does not hold a candle to Jamie Lee Curtis. I remember when Scout Taylor Compton played Lita Ford in The Runaways, and she was actually quite good in it. Here, nah, there's only one Laurie Strode, and that's Jamie Lee Curtis. And Scout Taylor Compton just does not do it at all in the slightest. So when Michael ends up returning to Haddonfield, the kills happen just nonstop, and there's just so much blood and so much nudity, and it's all just so okay. There's no good kills after Michael escapes, really. In horror films, you've got to have suspense. You got to have well developed characters. You can't just have a guy come in and just randomly start killing a random person like that. And that's what happens nearly throughout the entire thing. Well, the entire remake portion, that is. This is a really excellent example as to why an abundance of blood and abundance of kills it does not make good horror. Because if you have so much of that, eventually it's going to wear off its feeling. It's going to wear off, and you're just going to be like, okay, here's another kill, here's another kill. Just going to end up rolling your eyes at the screen. Yeah, this it's just so bad. And Michael doesn't quite have the same aura as he did in the first few. And like, yeah, he's cool looking. His mask is a little bit beaten up, but at the same time, he still does have a little bit of a presence about him, which is kind of good. And yeah, that's really the only positivity that I can say about the film. Is there's some good music. There's two good kills. Michael has a good aura about him. Other than that, there's really not a single good thing that I can say about this film at all. This is good. Yeah, this is one of my longer reviews that I've done in a long time. So I'm going to give it 1 star